If okay, as I was saying, we stopped at round one. Now we are going to start from round two. Um, Board one of round two was Charles Ahab versus Shimanya Medusa. So Charles here was black and Shimanya was white. Let's quickly just go through because we have a lot of games to go through within a short period of time. So, okay, C4, right? This is just a normal English. Okay. Oh, I think he lost the pawn here. Okay. Because the knight was attacking the rook, um, as well as an open discovery to the pawn on e3 from the bishop. So I think bishop takes was played. Yes. Now white dropped the pawn. I believe that was an important pawn because now the dark squares are weak. So this whole dark squared bishop is just cutting through this whole diagonal, and white lost their dark squared bishop. So that means black currently dominates the dark squares around the king. All right, let's see. Play. Okay. Um, oh, did white regain back the pawn? Let's see. Okay, looks oh, okay, it was almost equal at some point. Um, let's just quickly share the email. Can you share the link? Yeah. Okay. So let's see. In case of problems with the stream, but I believe so far so good. Um, Black is up a pawn, and it's bishop versus knight. I believe the bishop in this position is stronger than the knight because play is on both sides of the board, like they say. When play is on both sides of the board, then the bishop dominates. So in this position, especially when you're down a pawn, um, in the hands of Charles, this is already quite decisive. Many people have lost um, games where they're down a pawn and the pawn just turns into a queen, and eventually it becomes the decider of the match. So when the pawn was gone, um, like this, I think this could be the reason why Charles won this game. As you can see, this already the result. Um, also lost another pawn. Okay, this is it. There's nothing to discuss here. Okay, I believe here this is where I believe this is where Medusa resigned. Yes, because on the next move, the only move is King D2, and then promotion comes. I believe that promotion will come with mate, uh, Queen C1, and mate. So that is why Medusa resigned the game. So let's go to Kajovi Machwa. and Otto Nakapunda, candidate master. So let me also just quickly add the. Let me also add the chart. Let me add chart to see. Let's add chat. Okay, let's wait for chat. All right, I believe we have chat now. Um, let's see how far we can go with this stream. Um, so Otto Nakapunda was black and Macho Akajovi was white. So let's see how this game went. If it was even on DGT boards, no. So let's move to another game and let's see if this one was on DGT boards. Um, okay, we see the Scandinavian defense from Israel Shilongo. Okay, accepted. Uh, okay, so this Queen A5 Scandinavian is not a bad opening. Um, I believe the move is C6 and then Queen back to C7. I believe the problem with this is the the queen makes too many moves instead of moving and developing the pieces. But for maybe a surprise or maybe just to mix up white's preparation, that might be a good move. So this is Shilongo Israel versus Simon Shidolo. But I believe Shidolo is prepared for an opening such as this one. His recent games at the NAM Open and also at the closed, it was fine. So let's see how well he went with this one. Um, C knight f6. It doesn't play the d6 idea that I spoke about. Instead, it plays knight f6. So let's see. Now we have d3. Let's just quickly walk through this game. I believe he's planning to castle queenside. Um, oh, from here already is the game is decided. Because I think this knight b to d7 was the mistake. Um, the reason, after knight b5, perhaps queen back. Oh no, queen cannot go to d8. Oh, you lost the queen. Oh no, the queen can go to b6. But after queen b6, we have knight to d6 check, forcing the king to d8, and then knight takes. After knight d6, knight takes f7, forking the king and the rook. Forking the king and the rook. So, but I think he didn't play it. He missed. Oh, he played it. Okay. Now the queen is under attack, and queen b6 looks like a move that should be played here. Let's see. Maybe he lost this one in the opening. Oh, he lost his queen. Okay. Let's see. This one is. It looks very easy for Simon Shidon. Player of his type could not miss this one. So obviously, Um, oh, there's a fork. There was a fork. Um, you see, sometimes you have tactics that you calculate. Okay, I'm going to do the rook takes. Then if the rook takes um, like this, if rook takes, then bishop would take. Bishop would take, so that the rook would hang to the rook. But the problem is in this line, after that rook takes d3 would lose to knight e5. So that is why this one was not in favor of black. So that is why you see after a6, after h6, uh, knight e5 was played to defend the knight, the rook now. So okay, this one might have been bad. Now after that the rook is defended, next king move, the queen will just go to g6 and force trades, especially if he can take on g7 or play queen f7 check. So might even be mate, I think, yes. So that is why Shilongo Israel designed this one. So let's see, the next one is I believe a legend, a national legend, Ngifikwa Leonard versus the youngsters now. They're saying that the kids. Once upon a story in a... Okay. The kids, the young kids are coming, so we should be careful. Those ones with high rating, the kids are coming to get the rating. So let's see if the kid got the rating here. Alright, e4, c5, the Sicilian defense. Leonard Ngefikwa goes to the Sicilian defense, and knight f3. Mainline Sicilian, this is d6. This is the main line. d4 takes, knight f6, c3, a6. Oh, a6 was not played. That's supposed to be the knight of variation, but instead we see g6. Now this g6, I believe this is the accelerated Dragon Sicilian. It's almost like a King's Indian, but he played c5 on move one. So okay, this looks like a bit of a problem. Um, looks messy already from the opening. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Was that a gambit or what is it? Well, after queen d5, after castle's queen side, now the knight hangs. You can simply just take it and ask white what next. I think that's what happened, and he did. Okay, he blocks with a knight, hoping for a queen trade on the next move. Let's say after takes, and then after takes, and then he can take back with a queen, so that queen can take, and then he has a beautiful center. Oh, yeah, central pawns. And then you also be up a bishop here. Remember, white sacked a piece, maybe for an attack or what. Let's see. Let me also just quickly go to chat and see if there's anything. Let me just sign into chat. Get will I be able to see chat? Okay. I hope I'm not behind. Is the time fine? Oh, YouTube always lags. Okay. Alright. So let's continue, even without. Currently, YouTube always lags. Is it that bad? How much you are watching? Okay. Mm, okay. It's very much behind. Oh, I'm very much behind. Yes, I'm very much behind. Okay. I believe we have chat now. Okay, let's continue. Right after sucking a piece. Okay. White is trying to not trade. So the idea is to try some sort of attack uh, on all corners. Okay. Oh, there's no mate. He just loses the queen next. Yeah. Is it time travel or okay? Oh, okay, that's a fork. Um, yeah, that's a fork. This is why it's why it resigned because it's losing the rook. It was losing anyway, but at this point it's just yeah. Let's go to Ivan Boyce versus Item Bushali. Bushali, I remember Item Bushali from somewhere where he was drawing some really strong players. Beat also most of the strong players. So that was a long time ago. Maybe you might see something. E4 C5, another Sicilian in this tournament. Then we have Knight C6, Sicilian. Um, Transposing into what is this? Trades quite standard and it's fine actually. So far good. Don't see problems. Oh, instead, white is attacking here. Why not play G5? Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, did they just lose that? Oh, maybe that's why he resigned because uh, rook takes a4 is next. So this one is done. Let's move on to the next. We have Shiweda Jewel Pahukeni versus candidate master names Born Max. So let's see this one. How did it go? Oh, now you told me it. Is this the longest system? Yes, it is. Hmm? So far, so good. Mhm. It looks equal to me. They're just trading pieces now. Look pretty much equal. Unless someone blunders something here. I believe in this position they agree to a draw because equal number of pieces and pawns and end game. No one wants to blunder. If it was Magnus, Magnus would maybe refuse a draw. But in this position, no one wants to lose, especially when points are crucial and we know what is at stake in this tournament. Maybe they agree to a draw. So let's see the next one. It's Cronier. Oh, white is just bleeding pawns now. This is just done. Okay, right. Um, Black managed to convert this. Um, honey. Okay, okay, okay. I was setting up for a stalemate. If you take on g3, we just last minute tricks. So if you take on g3, the king would have no moves and it would be a draw by stalemate. Okay, wonderful trickery, but didn't work. Um, oh, you still can't take with a queen, so you have to take with a pawn. All right. Um, I'm not sure what is going on now, but yeah, just mate on the next move. Right. Ranier decided to let Swart Bernard put the mate on the board. So let's go to round three. How do you go to round three again? Right. Let's go to round three and dive more into these games. So round three we have boys Ivan versus Charles Ahab. I remember this one. I was like, no, don't spoil it. I want to watch it. A friend of mine told me not to spoil this one yesterday. I also decided to cover it today. Yeah. So Charles was white and Ivan Boyce was black. He goes for the English opening. Uh, right. Mm-hmm. It looks normal. Looks fine. Why did black not castle in this position? Yeah. Yes, he was waiting that he didn't want to show the cards, or maybe he wanted to play g5 and start a kingside attack. Okay. So let's see what happened. Bishop a3. Alright, takes the bishop. And also, oh, okay, the deep one was hanging. That is why e4 was played. I still don't like. I don't like to see this. I don't like to see this. Um, Okay. Oh, okay. Good game, good game, good game. Now the problem is if you block with the rook, if you block with the rook, oh, rook b1, with rook b8, rook b8 just wins the queen, and if the queen is lost, next will be mate, because you can't move the king, and you have your rook blocking there, and after the new queen is promoted, that will be mate. That would be mate. So if you block with the queen, I believe she takes d8, king takes. After king takes, then still rook b8. Um, rook b8, uh, king, I think king c7. I'll then take the queen. I'll trade queens after you take, and then I take the rook. So it will be a rook versus knight. Okay, it will be rook, bishop pair versus knight. So that's gone. Right. I believe there's nothing to look also on that game. So let's continue with Nakapunda versus Swaz Bernard. Nakapunda versus Swaz Bernard. Mm, versus Swaz Bernard. This is so Nakapunda Otto versus Swaz Bernard. D4, D5. Mm, what was that? Um, Instead of developing this knight, um, White decides to bring back this knight. Maybe the idea is to bring the knight on c3. It looks quite odd. Why would you do that? Um, yeah, this position looks fine. White is up a pawn, 5 versus 4. So let's see how Black was able to win this one. I believe I'll draw this one. I believe I'll draw this one. Oh no, I think he traded that pawn with. Oh, he didn't actually. So now it's just equal material. Still up a pawn, even though it's temporary. Still up a pawn. Oh, the draw was here in this position. Uh, you should trade rooks. I believe you should trade. Oh, was that a draw? No, I think here. If you trade now, if you trade, oh, it's not a draw because rook takes, king takes. I believe your king is closer to the pawns. Maybe you can try and create some shield and try and go behind these pawns. Let's say if you have the opposition, then you'll be able to. blockade these pawns, and then you can be able to trade the knight. Uh, there's some chance here for white. Maybe that's why they. Oh, it's drawn actually, according to the engine. It's plus 0.8.9, which is not that decisive. Okay, let's see what happens here. What? What was that? Maybe it's not the position because there are problems with the DGT boards. I think rook takes f7 wins. Rook takes, and then I believe the g pawn also falls, and the h pawn falls. And even if black is able to win one of the pawns, there will be at least one pawn to promote and win the game. So let's see what happened here. Okay, now it's no longer winning. It is no longer winning because the king is able to enter, and uh, black is doing what white was supposed to do to black. So that's funny. Let's see. They're trading at the wrong time actually. Because now they're just two pawns, and the other pawn will also be pushed, and there's no stalemate. If you play king g7, there'll be king e2, and next is just promotion. Or instead of playing king e2, you can actually promote the h pawn after king takes, then the f pawn will be promoted. Okay, so I believe this is it for round 3. uh, let's go to round 4. We just played yesterday. We just played yesterday. We have Ngifikwa Leonard versus Charles Ahab on board 1. So it's a legend versus another legend. Except the legend Charles is 8-time national champion. So he's a candidate master also. So I believe Charles is a bit a big favorite in this match. So let's see how Ngifikwa was able to draw this game. Okay, I'm a Sicilian in this tournament. I believe there are a lot of Sicilians. Okay, am I too fast? I don't think so. Uh, this is very much drawn actually. This wants make sure they are holding on. Maybe they agreed to a draw in this position. So let's move on to the next. We have Dutoit David, a young man, versus a CM, or CM, call him Coach Otto. So Otto is playing with the white pieces, and Dutoit David is playing with the black pieces. So let's see what happened here. Let's see what happened here. Uh, E4, Queen's Gambit accepted. Uh, I I used to think you cannot accept the Queen's Gambit because it wasn't considered the Gambit. If you accept, you you actually get in a lot of trouble. So let's see what happened here. Mhm. is going on here? Oh, okay, okay. You cannot take back because of the fork on e7, which wins the queen. So now, if you cannot take back, that rook is also attacking the queen. I wouldn't say the queen is trapped because you have f5 as well as you have bishop f6 and also h5 for the queen. But the problem is you lost a knight that was on c6. Now it's just one. Now it's just one, two, three, four versus one, two, three, and you're also playing a CM. So maybe the next move might even after you move your queen. Uh, oh, the next move might be to take. Uh, After trading off, it will just be a piece that will decide the game. So let's move on to another one. Instead of focusing on the blunders, we just look at the game in general. We won't be diving much into the other lines. So let's see where this is going. Oh, Karukan. Karukan defense, something other than the Sicilian that we've seen in most of the games. So what is knight d2 Sicilian? You know the knight d2 Sicilian? Where you play e4 e4 c6 d5 and knight d2. So I'm not sure how this is called. Yeah, so let's yeah, Karokan, I mean. Yeah, Karokan, where you play knight d2 and then bishop f5 and knight g3. It's Karokan, it says classical Sicilian, classical variation. Karokan defense, classical variation. So let's see where this is going. H4. It's almost like a fantasy where you go after the light square bishop, but ish, I'm not fully booked with a Karokan because I'm not a fan of Karokan myself. What, what a rook sacrifice! Huh? Rook sacrifice. I think there was a game where Shidolo played the same rook sacrifice. He played it against who was that? Where he played a rook sacrifice and it wasn't accepted. It was also still on e6. Maybe Shidolo is a fan of sacrificing on e6. So in this case, it was accepted, and then queen g6 was played, and the knight f5. Wow, what a sacrifice! So you must take it. There is no move for the king, so it's a must. Uh, you wonder if Shidolo saw all this before before playing that. So let's see what is going on. After rook e1, I'm sure rook e1 was played. Knight, I think taking with knight because you want to give a fork on c6. Discovery or even knight f7 or I believe queen e8 loses the queen after knight takes c6. Now the queen will be lost. Okay, instead knight b6. I mean queen b6. Oh, and which still loses the queen. Oh, and which still loses the queen. I believe this is. I believe this is. Oh, oh. Black wants to grab the queen whole. After queen takes e7, the king has to go down. Let's say you go on b8 and then knight takes. We'll still attack the rook also. So, wish- what a lovely game by Simon Chidolo. Um, okay, he's on fire. So that is round four. What other games can we look at? Boys Ivan? No. Yes, let's look at Lycius Lucas versus Boys Ivan. Lycius Lucas is a Nast boy. He plays for Nast. So he's one of those boys that just scores some upsets from out of nowhere. So let's look at Lycius's game. Uh, wait, who won this? Oh, White won. Oh, White is just down here. Change now seemingly down a full look. This is okay. Alright, alright, alright. I believe we see why Black resigned because Black is down a full rook. Okay. Van Royen also looks like he won the game against Itembu Shali. Let's see how that one is. If I believe we'll see Sicilian defense, but it's not even here. It wasn't on the digital board. It wasn't recording. So the final round for today, oh, the the round which we missed this morning is round five. It was played at 8 o'clock, and it was the legend Charles versus another legend, Otto. So it's two coaches, two former national champions, and two candidate masters that were going head to head in this position. Which looks okay, it's a draw. Draw. Khan. Played Khan. Knew Otto also played Khan. One of those surprise weapons because usually just plays. I think he plays one of those old openings, the solid one. So Khan, I like it for this game. Not bad. Oh, was it repetition? Who's better? Okay, it says 0-0. And what move was it? It was move. They agreed to a draw on move 30 on the dot. Right, right. I was expecting more of fireworks, but I think they know each other quite well, so no one wants to risk anything, especially at this stage where they are leading the tournament. And Coach Charles is the one leading, and Otto is also trying to get back. And the main goal is to qualify in this tournament. So if you try to over push it a bit, you might blunder and yeah, a loss in this tournament uh, is very very painful as well as it risks your chances of qualifying. Remember, we only take the top five to join the top the other five that are in the closed. So if you lose, let's say 3 games, it's very unlikely to qualify or to be in the top five. So I remember last year's qualifiers, I lost 1 game and drew 4 or 3. I think I drew three. So that was 5 points. No, with with 4.5 points out of seven. So I was number five, and that was by luck actually. I had the same points with a lot of people, and I was tied with. It was because of the tied breaks that made me to qualify. So that's why this game um, was treated with care by both players. So remember, you don't want to blunder, you don't want to just push because you can win or you want to win. So the goal is not really to win, like win, but the goal is to qualify and not lose. So it's when you want to consider what is at stake in such a tournament. So, oof, we see Shidolo sacrificing again. He's down a piece. Oh, he's playing good chess. He is playing good. He's down a piece. He is down a piece. I wonder what's going on here. Where he's just down a piece. Oh, now he's the one up. Oh, he's up a full rook. Okay, mate in four. And that's why he resigned. Okay,